This is Blake over at the Seattle Athletic Club. Hey, so I wanted to chat a little bit about goals. All right, so a lot of us set goals many times a year, maybe once a year on New Year's or whenever we set our goals. It's very popular to set goals in our culture, relationships goals, personal goals, business goals, financial goals, health goals, very many types of goals, right? So the question becomes, how do we bring these goals to fruition? How do we make the process of achieving our goals more effective? Right? So the first thing I wanted to touch on was simply writing your goals down, okay? So studies have shown that you're about 1.2 to 1.4 times more likely to achieve your goal when you write it down, okay? You've probably heard of this before, the fact that you should write your goals down if you really want to achieve them, but there's studies that back this up, okay? So the first thing that they've realized is that by writing your goal down, you have a form of external storage, okay? And this is pretty simple. This is just the fact that you have like a piece of paper or a sticky note as external storage, something where you can put it down and take it out of your head, and it's just a constant reminder of that goal you set for yourself. So if you put that sticky note on your refrigerator or a piece of paper on your desk or on your calendar, for example, these are ways that you're going to be constantly reminded of that goal that you set for yourself. Okay, so the other process, it's called encoding, and basically this is just a way that your brain kind of perceives the importance of things that you tell it. Okay, but this is really nothing more than just your goal has a better chance of being remembered if you write it down. And there's been a lot of studies that show that when you write things down, you're more likely to remember them. Think back to school when they told you to take, diligent notes before tests and stuff, and just so you have a better chance of remembering stuff before a test. So, those would be the two reasons to kind of write down your goals. So once you have that goal written down, I want you to ask why this goal is important to you, all right? And we're gonna get a little deep here, but really ask yourself why. So if we're just gonna take a simple weight loss goal, for example, you wanna lose 20 pounds. Why do you wanna lose 20 pounds? Okay, maybe you wanna look better on the beach, or you wanna look better for your partner. But if that's your why, I would challenge you to continue to ask why. Why is that important to you? Now, there's a good chance that this has a deep-rooted psychological pain or purpose for you. Okay, this could be, your mom or dad wasn't there for you when you were younger, and you want to be there for your kids. Or, your family has a history of heart disease, and you want to be the first one to not die of heart disease. It's kind of deep. You have to really have a deep-rooted why for your goal to become more likely to be, to come to fruition. So really ask yourself why, spend some time writing and get to the deep root of that why, and you'll be a lot more likely to stick to that goal. So the next thing is to determine the timeline of your goal, okay? So, there's a lot of things that are possible if you really set your mind to it, right? The trick is, finding the timeline in which that goal would be realistic, okay? So a lot of people are way too optimistic when it comes to short-term goals, but they underestimate themselves when it comes to the long run. Okay, so if we go back to the weight loss example, if you have 100 pounds to lose, that's not going to come off in 2 months, right? So that could be our long-term goal. You could definitely do that. You could absolutely do that. But we need to break that down into smaller, short-term goals, okay? So maybe it's 10 pounds in 2 months, start small. So, set yourself, realistic short-term goals, and then dream big for the future. Okay, so once you have that short-term goal, I want to shift the conversation to kind of outcome goals versus behavior goals. Okay, so that weight loss goal, that 10 pounds in 2 months, that's an outcome goal. That's the outcome you want to achieve. There's other outcome goals you can think of, might be saving $5,000 to go on vacation with your family, or running a half marathon. It's the actual event or the end in sight. Okay, and these are great. These keep us motivated. They give us a direction for us to act to reach our goals. But in order to actually reach those goals, you have to have behaviors in place that are going to get you there, right? So again, back to the weight loss example, if you want to lose 10 pounds in 2 months, it's not going to happen on its own, right? You need to put behaviors in place that are going to bring that weight loss to fruition. So, you can set yourself the goal of working out twice a week. You can set the example of eating 2 servings of vegetables every single day. And once you have those behaviors kind of broken down for you, break them down even further. If you want to work out twice a week, make sure that you have your schedule built out so that you're going to make time to work out twice a week. Arrange your meetings so that you have an hour and a half or 2 hour block that you can actually get to the gym, and set out your gym clothes the night before. And with vegetables, just make sure on a Sunday or a Saturday, on a weekend day where you have more time, Chop up your vegetables and put them into Tupperware so that they're just ready to go throughout the week, so that you're more likely to just grab them and go. It's a lot more simpler when the time comes. So that's about it. That's the behavior goals are what are going to get you there. So that's what you need to focus on today. Like those are your daily goals. And lastly, just make sure to reward yourself along the way. So once you have those behavior goals in place, if you stick to them, I would recommend that at the end of the week, if you ate your vegetables, twice a day for a whole week, go ahead and reward yourself. Have a little treat, have a cupcake or a cookie or something, just to be like, hey, I did great. I'm gonna add some balance into my life and reward myself and get back at it on Monday. So I hope that's helpful. Again, goal setting is really popular, but we have to ask ourselves, how can we make this more effective? How can we stop telling ourselves we want something and just actually make it happen? So yeah, with that said, set yourself some crazy goals and go get them.